Hello and welcome to the Cyber Control Center. We're now on to episode 8 of Cyberman Son. I am Steven.
And I'm Andrew.
Yeah, so we've got our first non-Cybermen story, and the reason why I've decided to include it is because the Cybermen play a huge role in the plot. Maybe too big a role. I know some people, fans have argued, but an important role nonetheless. Andrew, what story are we covering today?
We are covering the 5 Doctors.
5 Doctors is actually one I used to own on VHS. Actually, I think I still have it. Yeah, I still got my VHS copy. Looks a little more posh in 80s. Anyway, so, Andrew, there's a couple things you need to know with the 5 Doctors. First of all, the guy who played the first Doctor, William Hartnell, has died by this point. So the gentleman you see here is a guy named Richard Herndl. He's the first, but won't be the last person to reprise the role of the first Doctor.
He's like George Washington. He looks like a girl.
It's the hair.
Oh.
Secondly, Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor, they contacted him. They say, "Hey, we're going to do a 20th anniversary edition. Do you want to be a part of it?" And he said, "Nope." And so he didn't actually act in it. There was a story called Shada that they had started filming, but due to a strike, they never finished. So they took parts of that and they put it into this one. But yeah, needless to say though, they got Patrick Troughton to reprise his role as the second Doctor, and this is the first time that we get to see the third Doctor, John Pertwee, encounter the Cybermen. All right, you all set?
Yep.
Let's do it.
One day, I shall come back.
This was filmed. This is an episode of the
Until then,
second season. It's from the Dalek invasion of Earth. And this is when he's leaving his granddaughter Susan on Earth.
just go forward.
He has a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
prove
she's
to me
never talked
that
about
I
him
am
again
not
in the entire
mistaken.
show.
Yeah, she is.
Yes?
And the 12th Doctor even has a picture of her on his desk at the university.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. This intro tried to be futuristic.
It was the 80s.
They tried.
Actually, I haven't seen this in quite a while, but I used to watch it quite a bit. I really liked it.
Terrence Dix.
Yeah, he's a big name in Doctor Who writing. He wrote so many episodes, and he wrote a lot of books.
But his name is hilarious.
Yeah, so.
I know Dick is Richard, but Terrence Dix? Hey, she's clearing the room.
So that was Tegan. We saw her in Earthshock. By this point, Nissa's already left, and this is one of his new companions named Turlo. Stop painting. So his name's Turlo.
That's a weird name.
But dastardly work is afoot.
Yes, I remember. Yep. Oh, wait. Was this an actual episode of Doctor Who? Like, did that guy go into a garden?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I just heard my theme music. Ah, my theme music's coming after me. Ah, theme music.
Are you alright? Just a twinge of cosmic angst.
Cosmic?
Cosmic angst.
As if I'd
What's
lost
angst?
something.
Angst is when you're feeling like pained over something.
I've had that.
Cosmic angst?
Not cosmic. What's the difference?
Cosmic means from space.
Awfully sorry about this. Do excuse me for a moment.
You've had this place redecorated, haven't you? Don't like it.
Come on, Doctor.
After you.
Really? How rude.
So we saw the second Doctor and the Brigadier together in the invasion. But the second Doctor and the Brigadier worked a couple times together, but not a lot. But it was how they first met, right?
What?
Well, the third Doctor had a car named Bessie.
Oh, yes. I know now. I remember this. great balls of fire.
That's the thing.
Okay, so if the other doctors could almost outrun it, you can outrun it. Oh, Bessie. Why did he get rid of it?
No, he just left it at unit when he started traveling through space and time again. He just left it at Earth.
He never got it back?
He'd drive around it sometimes whenever he came back
Well,
to
the
Earth.
theme song got Betsy. Wait, there's no Betsy in the photo, so where did she go?
I'm being diminished.
Mistress, do not go out.
Oh.
Danger,
K9!
mistress. What? I
You
can
remember
sense
her?
danger, mistress. Telepathic trace, faint
This
but
annoying
rapidly
hair.
increasing in strength. Do not
No.
go out.
Do you remember her?
No.
Sarah Jane. She, from Revenge of Cybermen.
Positive data not yet available.
The doctor must have forgotten to reconnect something.
No.
Can he control the TARDIS at this point?
Who, the Doctor?
Yeah.
Mostly.
The instruments
Like
are all working
90% of the
perfectly.
time?
They just won't tell us anything. The TARDIS is paralysed.
How did we get here? What do we do now?
Where do you think they are?
Wait
Tell
until the
us.
doctor recovers.
You think they're on Telos?
Yes.
No. Just listen.
With all due
Wait a
respect,
minute.
Lord President, your regeneration
I've
has
seen
not
this
helped your
doctor's
stamina.
story before.
Hey, possible.
Possible.
Oh,
Seen it?
and who do you think it is?
It's
Lord President,
the 5.5
Castellan.
doctor.
Chancellor
It's the Master.
This is a very great and, may I say, a most unexpected honor.
The only one who doesn't have a bald thing on his head.
But he's the Master.
I may be seated. Now then, what can I do for you?
You are one of the most evil and corrupt beings this Time Lord race has ever produced. Your crimes are without number, and your villainy without end. Nevertheless, we are prepared to
That's
offer
not
you
even the
a
Master's
full
body.
and free
He
trial.
ran out of regenerations,
What makes
and
you think I want
he,
your
so he
forgiveness?
stole that body, and that's the body of Nissa's father.
to your renegade existence.
Oh my.
Regeneration,
But listen,
a complete new life cycle.
they're saying if you do us a favor, we'll give you a new batch of regenerations.
So he lost his 12
Rescue the
regenerations?
doctor.
He used them all.
He killed himself?
He didn't kill himself. He kept getting killed through doing like evil stuff.
Oh.
And so he started stealing bodies, and that one was Nissa's father. He stole his body.
Steal your older bodies.
They can't.
That is,
Susan! Surely it's Susan!
It's his granddaughter. There's Susan.
Grandpa.
Yeah, she calls him grandfather because that's what.
Oh man, if she saw the 11th Doctor, she would not believe that he was her grandpa, especially when she's older.
But she's a Gallifreyan, so she knows about regeneration.
Why?
Uh-oh.
We were brought here.
It's a
Bad
Dalek.
Look!
The Dark Tower.
The Doctor.
Dark Tower.
The Death Zone.
The Dick Zone.
Death Zone.
Oh,
Instinct, my dear, tells me that the answer to
Instinct,
that
my dear.
lies in the tower.
it's accident.
Charming spot, Doctor.
My dear Brigadier, it's no use blaming me.
Sure. I have some very nasty suspicions.
What's that?
Huh? Over there.
Oh. Beat it. Him it. Yeah, that worked.
Who are you?
More to the point, what are you young people doing inside my TARDIS?
It's his TARDIS.
And who might he be? The Doctor.
Whoops.
Good grief.
You're here. You're here.
Yes, evidently. Now take it steadily, my boy. And let me help you up.
I tried to send a recall signal.
Yes, it doesn't matter. How do you come to be here?
Well, the TARDIS was, I don't know.
Never mind that.
Is he really?
Me? Yes.
They really don't like him. And he doesn't really like them, really. He just really wants to get regenerations off of them. And they just need him. But, I mean, they really don't like him.
Like, worse than the Doctor?
Oh, yeah. Like, the Doctor really ticks them off. But he's evil. Like, he kills people.
He tells
thought we were going to the tower.
We are?
Then why this way?
Because the mountains are between us and the tower, Sarah, that's why.
Can't find an easier way.
No, it'll take far too long.
Uh-oh.
The Masters use the time scoop to bring others as well as us.
So he's convinced the Master is behind this.
What?
Well, it's the sort of thing the Master would do.
Exhilarating. I wish I were.
Doctor!
Master.
Wait here.
I know this is going to be hard to believe, Doctor, but for once I mean you no harm.
Like Alice, I try to believe 3 impossible things before breakfast. Go on.
I've been sent here by the High Council to help you.
What? What? Why is he
Is this man a
walking
friend
away?
of the Doctor's?
You'll see.
Anything but.
Well, they're talking as if they were friends.
That's what
Are
worries me.
Cybermen scared of the Master?
No. They don't know who it is.
From the TARDIS. Excellent. I shall take the patrol and destroy
Her
them.
voice changed a lot.
Capture them alive. They must be interrogated first.
They know there's a TARDIS there, and they know they need a Time Lord.
To pilot the TARDIS.
They need a Time Lord to pilot the TARDIS.
Again?
As soon as, whenever they see a TARDIS, that's their mission objective. Get a
Be
TARDIS.
reasonable, Doctor.
I am. I listened.
As you see, I'm armed. I could easily kill you if I wanted to.
And not humiliate me first. Oh, that isn't your style at all.
Oh, uh-oh.
Doctor, look out! Cybermen! Go back! Well, we can't just leave him. We can't help him either. Do as he says. We must warn the others.
After you.
Not moving.
Halt! Or you will be destroyed.
He wasn't even hit.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't hit by the weapon. But when the rock behind him exploded, a big chunk of rock hit him in the head.
That's just a knockout.
Yeah.
Hold him too. Is that a yo-yo?
No, it's a recall device.
It was a
You will accompany us.
Sorry. Mustache.
I just can't get enough of cat videos.
I do not believe your lies.
What I've said is the truth. We've all been sent here for the same reason.
To fight?
To destroy each other, for the amusement of the Time Lords. But you don't have to play their game. You can defeat them, gain your revenge. But only with my help.
Explain.
Close by there's a tower.
Get
Fortress of
one
your
down
enemies, the
anyway.
Time Lords. It's well defended,
The dog was just
but I can help you break in.
And what do you ask in return?
My life, my freedom, a chance to share in your revenge. To destroy the Time Lords.
Guard him. Leader. We will allow him to guide us to this tower. He is an alien.
obviously
Aliens are not to
challenging.
be trusted. It is not necessary to trust him. Will you give him his freedom? Promises to aliens have no validity. When the tower is in our hands, he will be destroyed.
I love the Cybermen. They're so singular, you know? They're just like,
So slowly.
tell you what, he'll take us to the tower, and then we'll just kill him. That's it. It's just like, you know what? The little Cybermanian's just like, the little Cybermanian's just like, hey, Do you believe him? He's like, no.
Cyberman.
They don't get tired, that's why not, and they never give up.
No. I remember.
Does Cyberman not realize that the multiple doctors are just everywhere?
I don't think they really know.
Oh, is that an android?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Raston Warrior Robot.
Is that a stronger version?
Yes.
It isn't armed.
That glue.
No.
It's a stronger version, therefore you
This
guys
is the
are
Raston.
dead.
Yeah, the Raston Warrior Robot is the most perfect killing machine ever made.
Well, that thing could probably defeat a Dalek.
Yeah, it probably could actually.
It teleports.
Mm-hmm. A short range teleporter.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're screwed.
At least that terrible hammering stopped.
At least the terrible hemorrhoid stopped.
Hammering.
Look! Is that they're carrying?
It's a cyber bomb.
It's not even strong. And it's a
Well, Turlo doesn't know that. Susan doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I can take much more of this.
Especially when this is probably before the 29th century.
Hang on, Sarah Jane. Hang on. I think we've got one hope.
Oh. Cyberman vs. Android, go!
Round 1. Fight!
Oh! Oh god. Cyberman oh no, you guys are so dead. They don't even know. Oh. Jesus, strong. Goodbye, Cyberman. Yeah, teleport to even worse.
Yeah. If he didn't teleport, maybe the Cybermen would stand a chance, but I don't think so. They're like, oh, crap, where did he go? Because remember, they're not very smart, really.
Yeah, he has a space hand. The android has a space hand.
He does, he has a space hand.
Hey. Pew, pew. Ow. Oh. Oh. They throw up?
Oh yeah, we've seen that before. We've seen them barfs in like the moon base.
That was foam, not throw up.
Still a sensor deal.
Ah! Wait, how's that one still alive? Is it one straight through?
But there you go.
That won't do anything.
Yeah, it's a good thing these are here. Phew.
Finish him! Fatality.
The android. What?
How long do you plan to play pitch and toss?
Patience, child.
Is that good?
Diabolical ingenuity. Nothing happens until you reach the 5th row, halfway, and then the entire board becomes a death trap.
Our ancestors had such a wonderful sense of humor.
Do I know you, young man?
Believe it or not, we were at the academy together.
What do you want?
To help.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Believe what you like, I should advise you to hide. I've got some very suspicious allies close behind me.
Allies? Come on!
Enter. But be careful. The fortress of the Time Lords is at your mercy.
Why was the main gate left unguarded?
Oh, the Time Lords believe no one could survive the death zone. It's sort of woolly thinking that'll bring about their destruction. Do you fear an empty room? Shall I lead the way?
Yes. Oh,
We will
no.
cross to the far side.
Very well. You see?
Take the patrol across.
Cybermen?
No.
What? It says it's metal.
No.
You have betrayed us. Why?
Betrayed? Oh, I might have misled you a little, but the safe path across the board changes with every journey.
You will show me the safe route, or I shall destroy you.
Seems fair. It's like, okay, well, if there's a different route, you're gonna show me it. Let's go, buddy.
It's conveniently avoiding the Cybermen.
The cyber guns are just so good at killing Cybermen every time.
A little ruthless, even for you.
Everybody knows this. It's like, I'm gonna grab one of these cyber guns if I want to kill Cybermen.
Sheep across
Doctor
minefield.
will definitely know that.
Principles
Dude, in
six.
every
Not
single
quite.
Cyberman story
This
we've been doing,
minefield is still
it's
just
always
as
their
dangerous.
weapons.
Do you think so?
Basically, yeah.
Jamie! Zoe! Stay back, Doctor! Why, what's happening?
Don't come any closer. There's a force field.
A force field? We shouldn't see about that. No, don't, Doctor! If the force field is disturbed, it'll destroy us!
You must go back.
Well, Doctor, what are we going to do?
Get them out of it! No, please don't, Doctor!
Oh, go back. Save yourselves.
I can't leave you there!
You must.
You could find another way to the tomb area.
Zoe and Jamie would still be trapped! The Brigadier's right! Or would they?
The Brigadier's right? What?
Just a minute. It's a matter of memory.
Stay away.
Why? I can't harm you. The one step nearer and we're dead! You can't kill illusions. The Brigadier! You're not real. When you were returned to your own people, the Time Lords erased your memory of the period you spent with me. So how do you know who we are? Answer!
Ah, there you are at last, my dear fellow. What kept you?
What kept me? Oh, confounded arrogance.
Never mind, you can tell me later. Come and take a look at this.
What is it?
Tegan. Sam.
What's this?
Brigadier.
Good heavens. It's Miss Smith, isn't it? Miss Travanka.
Lethbridge Stewart. Oh, my dear fellow. How very nice to see you again.
Great heavens, you as well. Well, I can't exactly say it's nice to be here. I do know I was enjoying...
Excuse me, old chap. We have a very important inscription to translate, and I think they'll get it all wrong without me.
Typical. Absolutely typical.
Oh, I know. Drag you through time and space without so much as a by your leave, then leave you out when things get interesting.
It wasn't the Castellan who was the traitor, it was the president.
Welcome, Doctor. You show very little surprise. Can it be that you suspected me?
Not at first. You want to be president throughout all your remaining regenerations.
Oh, you underestimate my ambition, Doctor. I shall be president eternal and rule forever.
Immortality. Oh, that's impossible, even for a Time Lord.
Raston achieved it. Timeless, perpetual, bodily regeneration.
It's true immortality.
Always prepare. Excellent. Detonate.
They made it!
There were 6 bombs around the TARDIS. 6.
Immortal, Doctor.
That was the best that they could do.
That was also a really big explosion.
So pathetic. The Cybermen just aren't good at building bombs. They're like, this'll do it.
We can't allow it, you know. The tomb was sealed for the best of reasons.
And as soon as we're back to our own time streams, it must be sealed again. Permanently.
Doctor, we need you. Join us.
We can't. Some kind of mind lock. Fight it, my boy, fight it! President Barusa speaks the truth.
You believe that Barusa deserves the immortality he seeks.
Indeed I do.
He shall have it.
Oh.
There you go, he got immortality.
Because he's stoned.
Stuck in stone forever.
And what of you, doctors? Do you claim immortality too?
No, my lord. All we ask that we be returned to our proper place in time and space.
You must make a full statement to the High Council.
What must I?
It can form part of your inaugural address.
My what?
Doctor, you have evaded your responsibilities for far too long. The disqualification of President Barusa leaves a gap at the very summit of the Time Lord hierarchy. There is only one who can take this place. Yet again, it is my duty and my pleasure to inform you that the full council has exercised its emergency powers to appoint you to the position of president, to take office immediately.
Very well, Chancellor Flavia. You will return to Gallifrey immediately and summon the High Council. You have full deputy powers until I return. I shall travel in my TARDIS.
Oh, but Doctor...
You will address me by my proper title. I am President, am I not?
You told Chancellor
I
Flavia.
told her she had full powers until I return.
You're not going back?
You know, sometimes, Tegan, you take my breath away.
Well, the Time Lords be very angry.
Furious.
You mean you're deliberately choosing to go on the run from your own people in a rackety old TARDIS?
Why not? After all, that's how it all started.
So that was the 5 Doctors. Okay, Andrew, what did you think?
That was pretty good, I guess.
It was pretty good. What'd you like about it?
Well, how all the doctors met up and they just were joking around and arguing with each other and stuff.
Yeah, that is interesting. Whenever we see the Doctors get together, even with the 10th and 11th Doctor when they got together, what was the first thing that they do whenever they get together? They argue. They argue, yeah. And do you think if you met yourself from 5 years ago, if you met 6-year-old Andrew, that you guys would argue?
I don't know,
Maybe? And maybe if you met 25-year-old Andrew, would you guys argue? You don't think so? Oh, that's optimistic. We'll show this to 25-year-old Andrew and we'll ask what he thinks. What else did you like about it?
Apparently that the president was the actual bad guy.
The president was the bad guy? You like that twist? Yeah, he was actually in previous episodes of Doctor Who. He was introduced with the 4th Doctor. So he's been around a while. Yeah. Okay, well, what did you think about how the Cybermen were done? First off, did you think that this was a good episode to include in Cyberman Son?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was mostly Cybermen, and that's really what Cyberman Son's all about.
Yeah, 'cause there was, one Dalek, and we saw him for like 5 minutes. There was one Yeti. You saw him for like 2 minutes, maybe. There was a Raston Warrior Robot.
10 minutes?
Yeah, and the Master, but not too much really in the way of other Doctor Who enemies. They were originally planning for more Doctor Who enemies to be in, but there just really wasn't time and money to do it. It's interesting that there were a lot of Cybermen, but it kind of makes sense because the Cybermen, like the Daleks, have been present the whole time through Doctor Who.
Those Cybermen were obliterated by that guy. They need some of those.
The Raston Warrior Robots?
Yeah.
I don't think even the Cybermen would be able to control them. Not really. Because they just kill everything. Indiscriminately. Doesn't matter, they kill them.
Like, they kill them uncontrollably more than the Daleks? Like,
that's the thing, is that I don't really know how they would do against Daleks. It's a good question. Okay, so let's talk about a few things here. First of all, cyber bombs. First off, we've seen the Cybermen love bombs. They love to make them. They think their bombs are awesome, but what do we know about cyber bombs?
they only put an ounce of gunpowder in them.
It's basically just sprinkle. They suck. They're terrible. They're not good bombs at all. I remember when I first watched The Five Doctors years ago, I was so unimpressed with all the bombs around the TARDIS that they blew. I was so unimpressed with a...
Detonate!
And then that was it. I was like, what? Like, how? Why would you think that you would even begin to get into the TARDIS that way?
That wouldn't even scratch.
Right? Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but... So there were 3 cyber groups here, right? There was the ones with the Master. There was the ones that were chasing the 3rd Doctor and got killed by the Raston Warrior Robot. And then there was the 3rd group that were trying to break into the TARDIS, right?
Yes.
2 of them were killed off. But the 3rd one wasn't. That means there are still a squad of Cybermen in the dark, in the Death Zone on Gallifrey. There's still a squad of Cybermen in there.
Like a lot.
Yeah, hope you guys are going to do something about it. Although, mind you, like they said, the Death Zone is surrounded by an impenetrable force field. So if a Raston Warrior Robot... Geez, guys, like, aren't the Time Lords worried about having that thing in there? It's like, why would you... It's on your homeworld, guys.
Or even near.
Like, crazy. But there are leftover Cybermen stuck in the Death Zone. Interesting.
Oh, imagine 5 of those androids versus like 10 Daleks.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the Raston Warrior Robot. That's interesting. I'd like to see how that goes. Okay, so here's a few things. First off, you know Turlo, the companion. Did you ever notice he's so quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I used to watch it on VHS, and if you got TV speakers that aren't great, half the time I can't understand what he's saying because he's talking really quietly.
According to the instruments, we're nowhere, no time.
Like super quietly, and I kind of imagine that this is probably frustrating for directors and sound editors with the guy playing Turlo. It's like you got to speak up. You got to speak up, dude, for the sound mixing. But oh well. Okay, this one has always bugged me. Okay, the checkerboard floor, how it's booby trapped, right? So I'm gonna show on the screen right now what pi is, but you'll learn about pi. The Greek letter pi. It has to do with measuring circles and stuff. So, okay, but it's a number. It's 3.141526, blah, 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 and it keeps going on forever. It's what we call an irrational number. So instead of writing the number out, we give it, here, I'll show you, Andrew.
What's even funnier is it's less than 4.
It is less than 4, but it's more than 3. That's the Greek letter pi. And it's a number. It's a number that we use. But anyway, so the first Doctor's right. He's like, oh, okay, so that's what pi means, and then he says, but the application.
Try it, Doctor. It's as easy as pi.
What an extraordinary fellow. You find the safe path by using the mathematical formula pi. Oh, but the application.
Which means, how does Matt putting this number let us cross the floor? And my thought is, yes. How does that number mean you can cross the floor? What does it mean? And the Doctor's like, 3.141526. Ah, I got it. Then he crosses.
3.14159.265. Yes, that's it. You stay there, child.
And then he's like, your turn, Tegan. I'm like, you did not explain at all how you can cross the floor. You didn't explain it at all. I don't get it. I don't understand it. No one has ever been able to explain it to me. How does knowing pi let him cross a booby-trapped floor? Like, tell me what the pattern is. I don't get it. 2 things here. Okay, remember I told you Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor, he didn't want to participate in this. So they took pieces from an episode called Shot Up. That had been shot but was never finished. Now, if you've read through Shada, for people at home, if you've there's actually an 8th Doctor audio. It's been animated, but it's an audio recreation of Shada, and they're actually redoing Shada with animation relatively soon. But anyways, if you know the story of Shada, you're like, well, hold on. If Shada is in continuity, then how can the 5 Doctors work? Well, anyways, there's a book in Shada called The Ancient and Worshipful Law of Gallifrey. But what the book is that it's a type of special temporal key that leads to Shada, and Shada is the prison planet for the Time Lords.
Isn't that TARDIS book?
It's sort of. It is kind of like a TARDIS book, and using the book sends prisoners to Shada, and it's this basic super book. The BBC website says that the reason why the time scoop didn't work on the 4th Doctor was because that book, The Ancient and Worshipful Law of Gallifrey, was there disrupting the time scoop. So they said, okay, so that's why it didn't work on the 4th Doctor, so it actually fits into continuity. So for you Doctor Who nerds out there you go. There's a nice little helping for you. Okay, now this is a big time one, and I wonder if you have any questions about this, Andrew. How did the 2nd Doctor know that Jamie and Zoe were returned by the Time Lords and had their memories wiped? How did he know that?
Oh my gosh, I just realized that he was regenerated when that happened.
Right after. So how did he know?
That breaks my brain.
Yeah, now that should be...
Maybe it's an alternate future where the Doctor isn't forced to regenerate.
That is an interesting thought. Now, isn't it interesting also that the Doctor was able to steer the TARDIS to go see the Brigadier, and he had no control over the TARDIS before? To the 2nd Doctor. Okay, I'll tell you why.
It is alternate.
There is a fan theory that is very popular. The guy whose name you were making fun of, Terrence Dix, he actually came up with this theory. He expanded this theory. So the guy who wrote this story and many other Doctor Who stories, he actually believes this theory. It's called Season 6B. Now, remember, I actually showed Andrew the War Games, the last episode of the War Games, a few weeks back. Remember there were 3 Time Lords who were judging the Doctor? Okay, one of those Time Lords you see again in a 4th Doctor story. I can't remember which one it was, but my little info thing will pop up and say it. But anyways, and you learn that Time Lord is part of an organization called the CIA, the Celestial Intervention Agency. And you know how the Doctors are like, oh, you shouldn't muck around with other species and other times and stuff? Well, the Celestial Intervention Agency, they're Time Lords that do. They're Time Lords who are like, well, let's meddle a little bit. So knowing that, what this fan theory says is that the 2nd Doctor wasn't forced to regenerate immediately. What happened was he was recruited by the CIA, and they said, you're going to be our special agent for a little while. And they made him the special agent, and there are 2 Doctor Who adventures that show him acting as their special agent. This one, where he knows Jamie and Zoe have already been taken from him, he knows about that, and he also looks a little older, and he's able to steer the TARDIS a little more. And also there's a 6th Doctor story called The 2 Doctors, where he is quite a bit older, and the Time Lords are sending him on a mission in The 2 Doctors. Now remember, the 2nd Doctor was on the run from the Time Lords the entire time, right? But in The 2 Doctors, they've sent him on a mission. So what we think then happened is that after a little while, the 2nd Doctor probably tried to get away, so then they forced him to regenerate and put him in exile. So that's a little for you Doctor Who nerds out there. Season 6B, there's even a page on the BBC website devoted to it. There's a Doctor Who novel called World Game that talks about how that happened and his first mission with the Time Lords. It's really interesting, and it also helps clear up a lot of plot holes. All right, Andrew, but let's put our thinking caps on. Let's talk about the 5 Doctors and what we're going to rate it.
Okay.
Okay.
4.3.
4.3. Is that our highest score so far?
I think.
So you really liked this one, huh? I think it's a bit more like a movie, this one. This one was made to be kind of like a movie, so it moves a little better and a little faster. But okay, I think I'll agree with that because The Five Doctors has always been one of my favorite stories. We're going to give it 4.3 Cybermen out of 5. Now next time we're going to jump forward a couple years to the 6th Doctor. And we're going to do Attack of the Cybermen. And this time, there's more time travel. Well, I mean, there's always time travel involved, but this time it's the Cybermen who are traveling through time. And yeah, we're gonna go from there and see what crazy hijinks they're up to this time.
Like and subscribe, and comment how many Cybermen you will give this video, and please continue watching us.
See you next time.